Good day, I'm Carrie-Ann Smith and this is your GIS News for Monday, May 22. The first half of expansion works at the Kingston Container Terminal is on schedule to be completed by November 2017, paving the way for the terminal to accommodate larger ships coming through the Panama Canal. Port Authority President and CEO Professor Gordon Shirley gave the assurance following Friday's tour of the terminal. He said the works were closer to 70% complete as the channels were being dredged and the basins deepened. Gordon Quay is also being strengthened and new cranes are being bought, while others are being repaired.
I should also point out that while they're doing the dredging operations, that there's quite a bit of work taking place with the Fisheries Division of the Ministry of Agriculture to ensure that the fishermen and the fisher folks who might be impacted by this, that their welfare is being looked after, and so there's an entire program that's associated with that. They're also working with a number of agencies, including the University of the West Indies, on ensuring that the environmental issues, including the lands immediately around the shore, are properly protected.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Andrew Holness, who was touring the KCT on Friday, said the project was evidence that divestment done well is good for the country.
Divesting assets is not a bad thing for Jamaica. If it is done correctly, if you find the right partners, if you have the right framework in place, Jamaicans benefit. Assets that we would not be able ourselves to utilize because of the fiscal constraints that exist, those assets get to be utilized. In the utilization of those assets, Jamaicans get employed.
The $456 million expansion of the Kingston Container Terminal is being carried out under a 30-year concession agreement with Kingston Freeport Terminal, a subsidiary of CMA CGM. Mr. Holness says the project has already provided employment for 200 Jamaicans who are being cross-trained to occupy jobs in the industry. He says government will be putting the framework in place to allow for maximum benefits from the investment.
The investment that I've seen here as well creates opportunities for not just shipping and cargo handling, but for logistics. Significant acreages of land exist around the port, which are now well placed to be developed for logistics, light manufacturing, and other forms of operations that are synergistic with the port. And the government will move very quickly to ensure that these possibilities are explored and developed so that Jamaicans can benefit.
The Bank of Jamaica, BOJ, will be assessing the impact of the recent torrential flood rains to determine any potential influence on inflation forecasts. BOJ Governor Brian Winter says the bank does not expect its general target to change, but the assessment will guide any adjustment to its forecast range. He was addressing the central bank's quarterly press briefing held in Montego Bay on Friday. Inflation is projected within the range of 4 to 6% for the 2017-2018 financial year. This outlook largely reflects a one-off price increase for fuel, electricity, and transportation associated with the recently announced tax measures. The BOJ governor also reported that Jamaica's current account deficit for the last fiscal year was 1.8% of the gross domestic product, which is below the 2% recorded in the 2015-2016 fiscal year.
We have to go back about 20 years in our history to find another deficit as low as this. And I'd like to go a little further. If we subtract imports that have been financed, i.e. paid for, from foreign direct investment inflows, this will be the second consecutive year when Jamaica in fact earns more in foreign exchange than it actually spends.
The community development component of government's street lighting installation, loss reduction and community renewal SILK program is to be rolled out in short order. That announcement comes from the Minister of Science, Energy and Technology, Dr. Andrew Wheatley.
And that community program seeks, through the partnership with a number of other government agencies such as the Art NTA, to ensure that we empower people by teaching them life skills so that they can make their own living.
Participants will benefit from vocational training in areas such as cosmetology, housekeeping, and woodwork. Minister Wheatley gave the update during a recent lighting ceremony in Rose Heights, St. James, where over 120 homes received electricity. It's the latest community to benefit from the installation of street lights and wiring of homes under the $1.25 billion Silk program. 25 communities in Kingston, St. Andrew, St. Catherine, and St. James are to benefit from the initiative. And finally, the Kingston and St. Andrew Corporation, KSAC, will be preparing a long-term management plan for the maintenance of the Ward Theatre in downtown Kingston. Mayor of Kingston, Senator Delroy Williams, made the announcement in an interview with GIS News.
We have started that planning already. I don't want to say much about it, but we have to have a management team. We have to put in a management team that's responsible for managing the Ward Theatre.
Senator Williams says the management team will be tasked with getting the facility operational by August this year. The Ward Theatre is one of 2 national projects for Labor Day, and work on the facility will include repairs to the changing rooms and bathrooms.
So we'll be tiling, we'll be taking out the countertops, putting in new countertops. We'll be putting in mirrors, lighting, and we'll also be doing electrical work in the theatre itself, right across the theatre. We'll be doing plumbing. We have started the plumbing and the electrical, and we're doing painting.
Work will continue on the seats, roof, and other areas of the building after Labor Day. Kingston's mayor says the Jamaica National Heritage Trust has been providing workers with technical advice in keeping with the renovation of a heritage site. Approximately $40 million will be spent to renovate the theatre, with part funding by the Ward Theatre Foundation. And that's it for GIS News today. I'm Carrie Ann Smith. Thanks for watching.